Folks, my first guest tonight is an Emmy Award-winning actress you know from Married with Children and Anchorman. She now stars in the new Netflix series Dead to Me. Please welcome to The Late Show, Christina Applegate. Thank you so much for being on.
Beautiful in here.
It is lovely in here, isn't it? You just made it lovelier by being here. I told you backstage I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
How are you? So nice to meet you for the first time.
So nice to meet you, too. I'm so excited to be here.
So surprised I haven't met you before this. We even mentioned you on the show recently.
You did.
We had the thing for the people out there who don't know, the president introduced Tim Cook.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was like, it was like a weird reaction.
Thank you very much.
That was a weird reaction.
The president, I'll take that from you.
Okay,
the president called Tim Cook Tim Apple.
He did.
Okay. CEO of Apple. We called him Tim Apple. And then tried to play it off like I meant to say that.
Right.
And we called it on the show Applegate.
Yes.
Not Christina.
Right.
That's what we called the scandal. Everyone's calling it that.
My dad texted me. He's like, "You're not even going to believe this. Stephen Colbert just called you a national treasure." And I was like...
I did, yes.
I was like, excuse me? Ooh, Stephen Colbert called me a national treasure. And I Googled it on the phone thing. And there it was.
On a rotary phone. On a rotary phone. You Googled it. Hello, Mabel, get me Google.
Yeah. Give me that Google right away. And I was very touched because
it was absolutely sincere. You are a national treasure.
It was like a picture of me and my name.
Have people ever? I get Steve Carell a lot. People go, "Hey, Steve Carell."
As do I. As do I.
Do people ever call you by the wrong name?
Yeah, most of the time, they get it right. It's been 40 years, that I've been doing this. But I was at the Santa Monica Pier. This was a few years ago with my daughter, and I was by the bathrooms, and this woman who worked there goes, "Hey, aren't you that girl?" And I never want to say, like, "Yes, I'm that girl. Of course, I'm that girl." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." She goes, "Susan Appleby." And I said, "Well, no, I am not Susan Appleby." And she rolls her eyes. She goes, "Oh, come on. From Married with Children, Susan Appleby?" And I still was like, "No," and I got out of that. I ditched that bullet, didn't I?
I totally believe you was a Susan Appleby.
I'm definitely completely not Susan Appleby.
Yeah.
Not even close, lady.
Like that?
Like, not even close. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even like...
Wait a second. Appleby and Applegate is close?
Katie Fruit Fence would be closer than Susan Appleby. Okay?
Do you get this one? Do you ever get this? Like, "Hey, who are you?"
Yeah.
I get that sometimes.
And I'm like, "Your worst nightmare, doll." No,
I always say that's not how this works.
It's not how this works. So let's not even engage any longer.
Yeah, and please leave me alone in the bathroom.
Yeah.
No.
And put your pants back up.
You stepped out of the public eye for the last few years.
Yes.
Taking care of your daughter.
That's what I like to call it, even though I did like 7 movies. But no, yes, I've been raising my daughter, which is a job.
Sure, it's not arrest.
It's not, definitely not arrest. But I wanted to take time with her and not be like in a series television kind of thing. And I like take her to school every day, pick her up from school, which is, everyone's like, yeah, we all do that. I'm not saying like it's such a,
Wow.
But I work in, I know, right? I like work in the library at her school, and I've had this really wonderful life.
That's nice.
Like at her school, being kind of anonymous and filthy, and like I don't.
What do you mean filthy?
No, if I can do drop off and be in the library, I don't need to shower or have my hair brushed.
Okay.
I can just be very anonymous and I read to the kids. There's like story time, and it's awesome.
Now you're just bragging that you know how to read.
I know.
Is there like, because I love reading books to kids, is there like, do they demand a lot
Oh my God.
you
Well,
as
this is my own fault, okay? Because I started doing accents. So all the characters in any of the books have like a different accent. And that was like fun for them, they thought it was funny. Now they're like requesting accents and like requesting ones I can't do. They always want me to do Spanish, and I'm like, I just can't do it. Like, I've tried and it's horrible. It always sounds Russian. So I come in, and the first thing I know, all their hands are like, they're like, do New York, no, do New York. And they're like yelling at each other, like, she did New York last week, let her do French. And I'm like, okay. So that's the only problem now, is I have
these kids?
Second grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you've been acting since younger than those kids, right? How old were you when you started?
I don't know. I've been in Screen Actors Guild since 1974. So that's a long time.
Since before you were born.
Because before I was born, my mom did an ultrasound, and I was hilarious, so I got into SAG. That's what happened.
You have 40 years, but
40 years.
Have there been any particular moments that have been sort of surreal or exciting for you?
So, I mean, I've had so many moments that, I'm an Uber fan. I will never be, jaded about meeting someone that I completely, respect and honor, and, I'll never be, too cool for school. But I do this thing almost every year with Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Yes, I dropped their names, and that happened. Yeah. And I just call them Tom and Reets. But anyway, it's a Shakespeare reading that we do. It's a staged reading. We do it all in one day, and everyone on the stage is lots of kind of amazing people. And every year we have a musical guest who comes that plays music throughout the performance. And a few years ago, we had Sir Paul McCartney. Okay. Sir Paul McCartney.
Wow.
That happened.
Exactly.
And we got to spend a whole day with him rehearsing and listening to him play Hey Jude and Let It Be and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that did a scene with him. Yeah.
You did a scene with McCartney? What was the scene?
Well, first of all, during rehearsal, nerds on the stage, Jason Alexander, myself, Tom, Marty Short, we're all just filming him. He's while I'm awake, and we're all and I have video of all of us nerding out, it's never happened before,
Sure.
we got our cell phones out. Anyway, so I do this this scene with him, and the director and I decided that I was gonna kiss him, but we were not gonna tell him. So I'm doing the scene, and it's going really well, and I just grabbed him, and I just got my lips in there, and he's like, my wife's in the front. See, my accents are terrible right now. My wife's in the front row. That's how he talks.
He's playing chimney sweep in the scene.
Yeah. He is.
Governor.
Yes, Governor. And I kissed him, and then I looked at him, and I looked at the audience, and I was like, yes, because we can do that in this particular Shakespeare performance. We can do whatever we want. But the audience went nuts.
Now, what is Dead to Me about on the Netflix?
Not much.
No?
No. No, it's about this woman, Jen, who I play, who loses her husband in a hit-and-run accident, and she's going through incredible grief, and she's very rageful, and she's very scared, and she's just kind of failing at life. And she meets this sort of kooky woman at a grief support program who's also had incredible loss in her life, and they become these unlikely pair of friends. And then you're oh, it's a sweet little chick show, and it's not. It's we like to call it a traumedy, because it's very dark, it's very twisty, it's funny, but it's also a suspense thriller, and there's a lot of lies and a lot of secrets, and nobody is who you think they are, and so each episode sort of unravels, and yeah, it's intense. It's an intense one.
Will it scare me?
It'll just make you have feels. It'll make you have some feels, and then you'll laugh a little bit. And then you'll have some more feels. And I think it's gonna be okay.
What if you're afraid of your own feelings?
And you should go to therapy.
Dead to Me premieres this Friday on Netflix. Christina.